Today is a day in my life that I never saw it coming. My journey in life has been very checkered. It's been rough, and sometimes it's as if there's going to be no light at the end of the tunnel. But today, I stand before you with profound humility and great honor to say that the party NPP has honored me to be the primus of this great chamber. Mr. Speaker, I take the opportunity here to share a few words. As a member of Efutu, a member of Parliament for Efutu, and a proud son of Winneba in the Central Region and chairman in the Volta region of Ghana, my long journey to this podium, as you may be well aware, received a lot of setbacks. Mr. Speaker, in 2004, when I first won my primaries, just 2 days to the filing at the EC, the elders of Winneba said I was too young to be an MP. The opportunity was taken away from me. In 2008, I contested, and the result was 22-22. The regional executives of the party said that the then MP was a member of the constituency executive committee, therefore he had a casting vote. You can imagine the result. He voted for himself 23-22. I lost the chance. We were 3 that year. Honorable Kweku Kwatin, Honorable Joe Wise, Joe Osewusu, and my good self, the Speaker, we formed the One Vote Alliance. The elders of Efutu prevailed upon me to accept the bitter pill, which I did. But proud to this, I had contested as an assemblyman when the 204 bid failed, because an elderly man in Winneba said, in politics, you don't give up. So I won, served 2 terms as an assemblyman, and got elected as a presiding member in Efutu. 2012, when I finally got the nod to lead the party in Efutu, none had confidence in my ability to win. In fact, I went to President Kufuor, pleaded to get an elderly face to speak for me in Winneba. In the end, Honorable Hakman Owusu-Agyeman sacrificed to be in Winneba and talk to the people. Honorable Stephen Asamoah Boateng joined later, where we did our house to house. By the grace of God, I won. Mr. Speaker, in 2016, I worked so hard in Efutu, and when my party had the opportunity to govern, I had great expectation. My expectation was to be part of the success story. But that was not my time. Mr. Speaker, young colleagues who had just joined us in this chamber had the privilege of being cabinet ministers, and I recall that even at committee level, I was neither a vice chair nor a chair of any committee. I never complained. I worked so hard. I was nominated to ECOWAS Parliament. When I got to Abuja, there was crisis because one of our colleagues intended to continue, and we had only 8 slots, not 9. The situation was becoming embarrassing. I had to, on my own accord, resign, and I came back home, expecting to be honored with a position, at least at committee level, That did not happen. I never complained. Mr. Speaker, I continue to work hard to serve this party. I continue to sacrifice my all for this party. And today, the saying that rising to eminence by merit, you live respected, has come true. I thank my party for this great honor. Mr. Speaker, in 2013, when I entered the House, this House was full of great men and women. Rising to speak was a problem. I recall that even getting the confidence to correct the spelling of my name was a problem. So I would see the vote and proceedings and just walk. But a brother, gave me confidence. Dr. Mark Esebe Yeboah, a true brother, a selfless brother, who believed in teamwork, called me one day when I was in Winneba, that Kwame come to Parliament. We are debating the budget. I said, how would I start? He said, come, I've prepared some notes for you. We sat at the back bench and I made that effort. I was so scared. What if I make a mistake? What if I slip? But Kwame Mark Esebe Yeboah said, you can do it. Come on, go on, I've done mine. And it happened. I thank you, Mark. How I wish you were here with me. I miss you dearly. You are a true brother. You are selfless, and you made it happen. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Mr. Jethro is a man today, if I pass him by, then indeed I have been ungrateful. There is a man who adopted me as his own. I call him Osofo. He, together with other parliamentary staff, gave me the needed guide. When we are filing questions, he will correct you. How to learn the standing orders and all. Mr. Jethro would always avail his time to support. Mr. Jethro, you and your staff, I am grateful to you. You made me who I am today. Mr. Speaker, my professor who taught me at the Ghana Law School, former leader of this house, Kumbo, Honorable Papa Nkommo, now Ambassador, High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, the late E.T. Mensah. Mr. Speaker, these were great men and women, great men I came to meet here, who supported me and did everything to guide my thoughts. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me go to my predecessor. Mr. Speaker, as if prophecy come true. In my early days, I received a call from Honorable Obiamo that leader was traveling all the way to Hanoi, Vietnam, and he was supposed to be part of the trip, but for some reasons, he could not make it, and he has requested that I join leader in his stead. Mr. Speaker, upon arrival in Hanoi, in one of the nights, Honorable Oseche Mensah had a good discussion with me. He advised that I stay close to the standing orders. And he realizes that many people don't pay attention to the standing orders. He added that if you do it well and you discipline yourself, perhaps you may succeed me, you may never know. Mr. Speaker, when we got to Kenya for a long transit, we again had this conversation. And in this conversation, he repeated saying, today is a day. Honorable Minority Leader, let me assure you that we're going to have a time of bipartisanship. I want to assure you of my commitment. The situation is when you are playing number 5, you are the defender. You are supposed to be abrasive. But now as a striker, I cannot use that strategy. So there will be no more A at all. We are going to work together because the happiness and the unity of this house shall materially depend on me. And I cannot afford to allow rancor to prevail. Mr. Speaker, the venerable MP for Swami, Honorable Oseche Mensah, is an institution, no doubt. It's a big shoe I'm going to wear. And I recall Harun Eseku telling me that MPP is not easy to be a leader. And I know behind me are professors, doctors, lawyers, businessmen. They know it. It's going to be tough. But colleagues, I call on your cooperation. I call on your support. And I also, Mr. Speaker, invoke the support and blessing of those ascended leaders of this House to endure me with such fortitude, not to fail in this hour of trial, but walk through the valley of the shadow of death and rise like the stars in heaven. Mr. Speaker, I have assumed the leadership of this House at a time that this government is facing critical economic situation. Mr. Speaker, we've been struck with post-COVID consequences. We are having situation in Ukraine and Russia where, Mr. Speaker, world trade is being disrupted. So no government is having it easy. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my colleagues that together I will be committed into ensuring that we work hard to break the eight. Honorable Minority Leader, I just want to plead that in this hallowed chamber, let us do everything we can to promote democracy. Let us assure our people that we don't fight in this chamber. That in this chamber we discuss issues, we deliberate without personalizing it. I promise you that. And even as we go out there to talk to our people, let us make them understand that the essence of democracy is to discuss ideas. After all, both parties have had the opportunity to govern this country before. You are coming back seeking the mandate with your old records, which records we know. We are coming in with our existing records and our new visionary leader, which you know. So, Mr. Speaker, let's set out the issues and make sure that the right things are done to ensure that we sustain this democracy. Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude by thanking you exceedingly for your wise counsel. Mr. Speaker, you took me as a son. Mr. Speaker, in moments of depression, you were there for me. In moments of difficulty, I came to you for advice, especially when expectations were not being met. We traveled to Côte d'Ivoire, we traveled to Togo, we traveled to Uganda. In all of these, your advice was one: your time will come, have patience. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that fatherly role you played in my life. And I want to promise you that I will not let you down. The job is difficult, it's challenging, but the God that made it possible for you to survive, and the God that made it possible for my predecessor to survive, will make it possible for your son, Afenyo-Markin, to survive. Mr. Speaker, not the least, let me thank my wife for her support. Mr. Speaker, being in public life, I married my wife when I was only 22, 23, and she was 22. Mr. Speaker, I started public life very early, and most of the time, you have to leave for Winneba, come midnight, go back, run your business, go to court and all. Mr. Speaker, through it all, my wife, Diane Nanama Frimpoma, has been with me. I thank her for her support. It's not easy. We've done 21 years and still counting. And I know that the Lord would make it possible for me to deliver my new duty with her support. Mr. Speaker, without more, I shall thank you. I shall thank you for the opportunity and want to thank my colleagues.
Honorable members, please, let's allow him to land.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleagues in this house. Mr. Speaker, I have to make some mention. Honorable Rashid Pepo, when I was faltering, he never gave up on me. He came to me several times advising me. The former minority leader, he never gave up on me. The former majority leader, Honorable Cletus Avoke, he never gave up on me. And I know how I've benefited immensely from the backbench on both sides. But Mr. Speaker, my mom, Esther Abba Afenyo-Markin, is here. My stepdad, Ike Esibu, and my dad, Moses Afenyo, is here with us. I thank them all for all they've done for me. My mom especially for not giving up on me. And Mr. Speaker, I must admit, growing up, I was stubborn. But by the grace of God, she's helped to mold me to be a son, proud son, to serve our country. Let me thank you most sincerely for your kind audience. And please, colleagues, I would count on your cooperation. Ato. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.